Okay, so this video is to address the situation of being a parent from a different country who's given birth to a child in Mexico and the documents needed to receive permanent residency. Now I'm making this video because there are plenty of resources out there, but the process was actually quite extensive. And so I'm making this video just to show you the documents that I needed to receive permanent residency. So first of all, you want to go to the institute. I think it's gov.mx, and I'll update actually with the website for this because it wasn't super apparent. But online, you have to fill out for a format para solicitar trámite migratorio de estancia. And I remember clicking on it's asking you why you're there in drop-down menus. And you want to click on the regularization of your situation, your migratory situation. And under that, I did regularization for unidad familiar, so it's like through family unit or union. And then you just fill out that. And so that's something I needed. You bring that and you bring a copy of that you'll print. And then you will need a note that says, essentially, actually, I'm just going to put this in here. Maybe I can take a photo of it. We'll see. I might blur this out because mine is actually personal to me. But essentially, you need to do a note that has the location of where you live, the city of where you live, and where you're trying to get residency, the date at the top, and then addressed to Institute of National Migration. And then, so under that, I did the head of the Institute of National Migration in my location. And then I explained that I had a child, specifying their gender, that was born in this city, specify your city, and that we live at this address. All this is in Spanish, so you can always translate. So you say you live at this address, put in your address, where and then you specify if you rent or own and how much you pay for rent, and then say monthly, and then specify how you make your income. So say your job, or if you have savings, or if your family helps you, whatever it might be, if you have a partner. And your reason for wanting to get this permanent residency. So that's that letter. You need a copy of your passport, as well as your original passport. You need a copy of your child's passport as well as their original passport. The Acta de Nacimiento, which is the birth certificate, that you need the original and a copy. And I also had, I don't know if this is fully necessary, but I'm pretty sure it was at some point, was this, when my child was first born, there was a handwritten out, filled out information on the baby, and it's a longer piece of paper. It's called the Secretaria de Salud, the Certificado de Nacimiento. So it's another certificate of birth, but this one's just like this longer piece of paper about the health of the baby, maybe. At least a copy of that. And I also had my consular of report of birth abroad. So where I went to the consular and reported that as an American, I had a birth in Mexico. And so my child is registered with the U.S. as a Mexican citizen. And then you need a copy of either your water bill or your electricity bill. And this is to show them your address. So yeah, have this address match the address that you put in that first document that I told you about. When you go online and fill out that form, you need this address on your electricity bill or water bill to match that. That's very big. I've gone back and forth because it's been off a few times. And then I believe, depending on your location, I'm sure, the last thing I needed this time around was photos and directions to where I live. So a map. Online, I just went on Google Maps, took a screenshot, and then I edited online a path on how to get to that address or that location that I live at, and a photo of my front door so they knew which door to enter. So immigration will come and they'll visit your home. At least in my town they do. This is actually my second time around doing this process. Even the second time around, I'm like, okay, wait, what do I even need to do again? So I actually wish I had this video to clarify all of these documents of what I need. And I figure maybe it'll be helpful to some other parent out there who has given birth abroad in Mexico, because I'm sure that rules are specific to each country. So yeah, that's my list before I go into this and turn in these papers of what is needed to apply for permanent residency. And today I'm turning in my first payment. So you'll go in, there's 3 payments. The initial one is smaller. As of right now, the end of 2025. The first payment is 1,780 pesos. And that's to kind of get the process started. And then there's 2 other larger payments that in American dollars come out to I think it's $200, one of them, or $250, and the other one's $300 or something like that. Maybe a little bit more. But yeah, that's all I know of the process so far, and I wish you luck on your journey abroad.